down by Paul Shortridge, who threw that complete game on just 81 pitches against them. Their offense was stifled pretty well. Shortridge mixed pitches. He kept them off balance, but it's a new day. A couple changes through the lineup I know that we'll get to, but there's athleticism, there's speed, there's some pop at the top of that lineup. I'm curious to see especially how the offense responds for Lincoln Southwest today, Nick.
Well, we talked about it, right? The two teams that aren't playing today, Lincoln East and Millard West, the number 1 and number 2 seed in Class A. They both have the day off, which obviously gives them the ability to maybe rest some guys, maybe just go through a light T-work session, something like that today, light infield, stay out of the sun today. But most importantly, one thing I do want to mention, you mentioned why you play the games. If you want an example of that, look at Class B. You had the 7-seed Blair Bears beat the 2-seed Elkhorn North Wolves today to advance to tomorrow. Elkhorn North is done. And then you also, in the morning game, had the 8-seed in Class B advance to tomorrow to play Norris after they knocked off their opponent, the Waverly Vikings. And so you want to talk about why you play the game. Those two examples, the two games that we've had on our station this morning so far and today to this point, have been perfect examples and prime reasons of why you play the games. Is because in Class B, the 7 and 8 seeds are still alive. The 2 and 5 seeds and 4 seed for that matter are going home. So here in Class A, we know it. Millard North is home. We also know a couple of the other schools that are on the way home, but we also have 2 elimination games tonight. First up, it's this one between the Silverhawks and the Patriots. And the nightcap is going to be Elkhorn South and Creighton Prep.
It's not just that Lincoln Northwest and Blair won before, it's how they did it.
Yeah.
For Northwest, it was on the back of an incredible effort from Alex Berry, who threw that complete game in under 90 pitches. Really solid defense, overcame some adversity. I was on the board for that game. Hearing you describe some of the happenings in that first game today, that's an 8 seed, right, against a perennial state contender in Waverly that's been to the state tournament year in, year out, it feels like. That adversity sinks a lot of teams. Yep. When something goes that wrong, they get off kilter, they get off balance. And then seeing Blair come back from down 4 with 3 outs to go, it's that incredible resolve. You don't quit until that final out is recorded.
This is going to be a good one. Millard South and Lincoln Southwest is on deck. Let's step aside. We'll get you ready with starting lineups and the starting pitchers when we come back.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust
is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to MWRbuildingandfence.com.
Here you go. Coffee's on me and my new BFF. I thought I was your best friend forever. BFF like best financial friend at Members Own Credit Union. Right now, they're offering $100 when you consolidate or transfer a loan or an existing credit card balance and meet requirements. Plus, you get great rates and free advice from a financial partner that will put you first.
That sounds like a match made in heaven.
Members Own Credit Union is the type of bestie you can count on. Get started today at memberzonecu.org/BFF. Limitations may apply. Equal housing opportunity.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution.
solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Back here at Tal Anderson Field, Nick Sainert, Austin Norman with you ahead of Millard South and Lincoln Southwest. Lincoln Southwest, the visitors on the scoreboard, so they'll grab the bats and get to hit first while Millard South takes the field. Starting number 27, Brant Smith, the junior pitcher, 7-2 on the year, 3.44 earned run average. Austin, you mentioned in the pregame just a couple of different lineup changes, the different looks of the Southwest lineup today. Talk about those a little bit more.
Yeah, the top four is the same. It'll be Schaefer at short, Buddha in center, Sandy behind the dish, and Caden Ransom at DH. But then Dayton Engelbart makes his return. We saw him enter as a pinch hitter yesterday. He's back in the starting lineup in right field. Ty Phillips we didn't see. He's in left. Vokoun still at first base, dropped down a couple spots in the order. And then Kason Seymour takes over for Caleb Bolte at third base. He's hitting in the 8th spot ahead of Brennan Vernon at second.
Yeah, and once again, you mentioned the top four of the order is the same with Schaefer, Buddha, Sandy, and Ransom. Those are really the four that can really hurt any pitcher that they face. And so it's going to be important for Millard South here, especially with Brant Smith as Schaefer steps into the box and we are ready to go, that you get on top of them early, right? Throwing strikes, being competitive from the get-go. And the first pitch of the game is fouled off over to the right side and onto the concourse where folks are still filing in from the parking lot here at Tal Anderson Field. Sun peeking through on the left side of us, and Brant Smith is ready to go again, and a swing and a miss for Hudson Schaefer, and it's quickly 0-2. So Schaefer, the shortstop today. The pitch on 0-2, low and away, ball 1. Brant Smith, once again, 7-2 on the season, 3.44 earned run average. The pitch on 1-2 is a breaking ball, low and away, and Schaefer was able to hold up just enough, and it's 2-2. Hovering around that 70-mile-per-hour range with the breaking ball as the breaking ball floats back into the zone, and Schaefer's knees buckled on a 68-mile-per-hour curveball that floated back across the heart of the plate, and Schaefer goes down looking for out number 1. So now that brings up Trent Buddha, the center fielder. Buddha has had a nice couple of games for Lincoln Southwest as he watches ball 1 low in the dirt, 1-0. So it's Buddha, Sandy on deck, and then Ransom the DH once again. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball in the zone for strike 1. Ransom had that nice double yesterday against the Spartans. The 1-1 pitch taken low and away for a ball, 2-1. So Brant Smith on the mound for Millard South. The pitch, low and away, ball 3, 3-1.
That's a good spot, though, from Brant Smith. Low and away, make.
The 3-1 pitch, Buddha looking to swing. He chops it towards the first baseman. He'll take it himself, call off the pitcher, and barely beat Buddha to the bag. It's 3 unassisted on the putout for out number 2. So now that brings up the catcher, Landon Sandy. With Sandy and Ransom, they're almost interchangeable with behind the dish. One of them, if the one is catching, the other is DHing. So both these guys, plenty of at-bats on the season. As the first pitch of the at-bat to Sandy is just a tad inside, ball 1. It's a beautiful day, sunny, warm here at Tal Anderson Field. The 1-0 pitch, low in the dirt, 2-0. But the crowd is a little lighter than what Austin and I were envisioning for a 4 p.m. matchup. 2 balls, no strikes here to Landon Sandy. Tried to wait on a curve, a high chopper to the shortstop, fields it, fires it over to first, and in time for out number 3. And the Silverhawks are retired in order. We see the Patriots coming up to bat in the bottom of the first when we return on 93.7 The Ticket.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Nick Sanders, Austin Norman back with you from Tal Anderson Field in Omaha, the home of the Omaha Mavericks. Wind blowing slightly out to left field. Folks still filing in from the parking lot as we are across the way from Baxter Arena, from Exarban Village as well out here in Omaha, just off the interstate ever so slightly. The expressway over the left field fence as well, about 500 yards farther back. So now, here we have it. Probably not 500 yards. That's probably a stretch.
I'm going to say it might be another 150 yards.
150. Wow, I was way
well,
off.
in terms of straight line, right? If you include the slope,
the hill
yes,
is the hill
adds some distance.
the hill is,
and I believe that's just Center Street up there.
I believe so.
Shout out Center Street, one of my favorite streets in Omaha.
Shout out to Center Street. So once again, on the mound today, it'll be Matthew Humphrey for Lincoln Southwest. 5-2 record on the season, a 1.93 earned run average. And he'll be facing a pretty talented Millard South lineup, especially with Carson Durr, the catcher, hitting cleanup.
It's Durr, and then it's Ginger at third base. So if Thomas and Apin can set the table, that 3-4-5 is one of the most dangerous in the state.
Yeah. So now Will Thomas will step into that left-handed batter's box. Will has hit leadoff all 3 games now for the Millard South Patriots, facing the right-handed pitcher, Matthew Humphrey. Humphrey working out of the windup as he starts it, and we are ready to go in the bottom of the first. First pitch of the bottom of the first is in there for a strike, 0-1. So it'll be Thomas, Apin, Hart, and then Carson Durr, Brody Gindra, and Carroll. The 0-1 pitch from Matthew Humphrey is a ball low in the dirt, 1-0. Or excuse me, 1-1 rather.
I feel like that's just classic high school baseball pitching right there, Nick. Fastball for strike 1, then come back with the breaking ball second pitch.
Sometimes it's okay to break the trend, Austin Norman, as the 1-1 pitch is low and in, ball 2. So Thomas getting the start in center field once again. We saw Brody Gindra have an incredible day on the mound yesterday against Millard North. 5 no-hit innings. The 2-1 pitch hits the corner for strike 2, 2-2. So very similar. We talked about the changes with Lincoln Southwest lineup. Very similar lineup, if not the exact same. Maybe obviously positions change, but same order, same names as Thomas takes ball 3, low and in, 3-2.
Seymour's way off that line on third base.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here, bottom of the first inning. Thomas with the bat in the left-handed batter's box. The pitch is up in the zone, out of the zone rather, ball 4 and a leadoff walk for Millard South. So that now brings up Jackson Apin. Apin, the starting shortstop today. We saw him make a nice play at the end of that top of the first inning for out number 3. Now he steps in, hitting second in the Patriots lineup from the right side. Thomas at first base. Humphrey fires. This one hit well out to left field. The left fielder ranging over, and he drops it in fair territory. Rounding second is Thomas, fires it into third, and he slides in safely as once again the errors and miscues are hurting teams game after game, as that's an error on the left fielder for Lincoln Southwest, Ty Phillips, who got the start today.
Ty Phillips gets the start today and just loses it, just straight up dropped it. That was right in his mitt. Looked like he might have pulled his head just a step too soon, was unable to secure it. Good job by Will Thomas. He made it about halfway, had to turn the Jets back on after he saw the drop. He went halfway in case of the drop, plenty of time to retreat to first. Runners on second and third, nobody out for the Patriots rather.
So now this is Harrison Hart, one of the few seniors on this team. He takes ball 1, low and away, 1-0. Only 3 seniors on this Millard South roster. Harrison Hart is one of them.
Big dude.
So he hits third in the Patriots lineup. Harrison Hart, number 23, hitting .319 this season. As Humphrey comes set, fires home, breaking ball, cuts back towards the inside corner, 0-2. 1-2, 1-1. Holy smokes, can I get a count right today? 1 ball, 1 strike here to Harrison Hart. Runners on second and third. Humphrey comes set while looking back at this runner at second base. The pitch swung on a miss. Harrison Hart fans that one, and it's 1-2.
It's a really good location for that pitch. Humphrey put it down in the zone. Now I wonder if you see him change eye levels with the fastball up.
1 ball, 2 strikes. It's been pretty by the book for the most part today so far, and then would maybe signal curveball low and away, and that's what it is. It's in the dirt. And nice block by the catcher, Sandy, behind the dish. And it's 2-2 as that was a waste pitch.
And that's why it's good to sometimes switch it up, right? You were right. You saw the breaking ball in the dirt coming. That's pretty typical high school baseball. Hart knows it too. So if you're a pitcher, sometimes you have to pitch a little bit backwards to get an advantage on the hitters.
So Humphrey comes set at the belt. Looks back towards second. Slowly lifts the leg and fires. It's a breaking ball, and it catches the corner as he gets Harrison Hart down looking. As that was a favorable call, pretty far outside, but a nice job by Landon Sandy helping his pitcher out, and that's out number 1.
Harrison Hart had stepped out of the box to look at his coach. He thought it was far enough outside. It just caught the chalk, rung him up looking.
So now it is time for Carson Durr. Durr had a double in the opening round game against Lincoln Southwest. Was one of the few guys that actually could figure out a way to be productive off of Carter Chamberlain, who gave them a heck of a start on Friday against Millard South. So now here is Matthew Humphrey, the pitch. Breaking ball, inside corner, strike 1 to Carson Durr. So here we have it. Carson Durr, the catcher, wears number 12. Gets ready to welcome the 0-1 pitch from Matthew Humphrey. Swung on, fouled off to the right side. 0-2.
Huge of Humphrey to jump ahead 0-2 here on the heart of the order. I like that he's thrown that breaking ball, starting it at the right-handed batters and breaking it off over the middle of the plate. Now, if Millard South adjusts to that and it hangs out over the middle of the plate, it could travel a ways to the left side of the field.
No balls, 2 strikes to Durr. The pitch froze him on the corner, and back-to-back backwards Ks for Matthew Humphrey on the mound, and Lincoln Southwest is just 1 out away from getting out of this inning unscathed.
Perfectly located fastball over the outside corner. That was a much better pitch than the one that Hart struck out on.
So 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Matthew Humphrey trying to do it all himself here for Lincoln Southwest, right through the heart of the order as Brody Gindra comes to the plate. The pitch swung on, fouled back to the netting, 0-1. Brody Gindra, the future Husker, in the right-handed batter's box currently. As Humphrey comes set at the belt, looks back towards second base where nobody's holding the runner on and fires home just upstairs, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brody Gindra. Bottom of the first, Southwest went down in order in the top half. Millard South trying to cause some more problems for Lincoln Southwest here in the bottom half. The pitch, 1-1. This one hit well out to left field. That's going to be down as that beats the left fielder and hits off the wall. Gindra speeding around first. He'll stop at second, but both runs score on a 2-out, 2 RBI double by Brody Gindra. And Millard South has an early 2-0 lead.
Not only was it big because it traveled almost exactly 330 feet, hitting the middle of that wall there in left field, but Nick, back-to-back strikeouts looking. 3-hitter and 4-hitter did not take the bat off their shoulder. Great job by Brody Gindra of picking out a pitch to hit, picking his previous 2 teammates up, and making sure that Millard South took advantage of that opportunity. Getting the 2 guys on with nobody out and letting it go to waste would have been a huge shame for the Patriots. What a hit from Brody Gindra.
So Brody Gindra with a 2-out, 2 RBI double. He stands on second base, and now Noah Carroll steps into the box. A breaking ball in the inner part, just a little too far inside, ball 1. And another thing I would say is, here's the thing. The evolution of baseball, the ball is going to find you once again, and it went out to the left fielder, Ty Phillips, who made the crucial error earlier in this inning. That, by the way, not to mention, if he would have made that catch, they'd be out of this inning. Stealing third is Gindra, and the throw was not even close as Brody Gindra read Matthew Humphrey like a book and swiped 90 feet from second to third.
Even in just one inning, you see Brody Gindra paying attention in the dugout, picking up timing. He was able to rip that off incredibly easily. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Noah Carroll, the first baseman today for Millard South. The pitch from Humphrey swung on. This one hit well out to right field. The right fielder going back, still going back. It's over his head. And around first is Carroll, still on his horse, rounding second. The cut fires into third. It will not be in time. Now it goes to the backstop, but now Matthew Humphrey was backing up third base, but Millard South feels like they have a pretty good read on Matthew Humphrey here as Colin Driffel, the designated hitter, steps in after a 2-out RBI triple from Noah Carroll. That was a loopy route taken by the right fielder, Engelbart, Nick. He tried to cut that one off. His first step was to his right and slightly in. He needs to go back on that ball, and maybe he can make a running over-the-shoulder catch. But after his first 2 steps, that ball was over his head. That was also into the wind as well. That one was really well hit. As Driffel, the batter, ball 1 up and away, 1-0. So with Carroll standing on first base, Millard South, the 7-hitter in their lineup, is up to bat with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Humphrey comes set, lifts the leg and fires. Breaking ball buckled him, and it goes across the heart of the plate for a strike, 1-1. Matthew Humphrey, once again, coming into this one, 5-2, a 1.93 earned run average, so already above his average of runs given up per start, or appearance rather, as he throws ball 2 outside, 2-1. That was such easy opposite field power by Carroll. 2 balls, 1 strike here in the bottom of the first inning. 2 outs, Humphrey trying to get out of it. The pitch on 2-1 is going to curve in there for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Double up on it. He's not comfortable in the box. He's not ready for that movement. I throw him another one here, Nick. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got to locate. Don't want to put him on for free. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fastball, chop down third base. Seymour picks it up, looks down at his glove, and fires it across the diamond for out number 3. But the damage has been done in the form of a 2-out, 2 RBI double from Gindra, and then a RBI triple from Noah Carroll as Millard South adds 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning. They lead it 3-0 as we maneuver to the top of the second inning. It's 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up for the Silverhawks right after this on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial or residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Nick Sanders, Austin Norman, back with you from Tal Anderson Field. It is hitter 4, 5, and 6. Caden Ransom due up, and he takes strike 1. Here's Austin Norman. So Ransom, Engelbart, and then Phillips, as Nick said. Ransom against Lincoln East yesterday. 1 for 3, struck out his first at bat, singled, and flew out to center field. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike here on the designated hitter for the Silverhawks. Smith winds, delivers, good breaking ball over the heart of the plate. That one froze Ransom. Smith jumped up in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's set again, ready to go.
Kicks and fires, fastball swung on, ripped down the third baseline, just a couple feet foul.
Yeah, Ransom on that first breaking ball, he just got a second dose of it there. But on that first one, he kind of watched it all the way back to the catcher's glove. He kind of saw that one, had a pretty good read on it, but then Schmidt decided to throw him another one back to back.
Not a bad idea there if you're sitting on a fastball to see the breaking ball, get the shape, get the movement, give yourself an opportunity to do your best to pick up the spin. Have a stoppage in play as a Millard South player, manager, took a stroll down the line, and now the catcher, Carson Durr, heads to the bench. He was holding his helmet in his hand.
It looks like they're having
Earpiece malfunction?
having some issues with an earpiece, as now it's working. We're good to go now.
Short conversation between Millard South coach and the home plate umpire. Durr still working on getting that helmet readjusted. Brant Smith on the mound for Millard South. The righty's ready to go. He's ahead in the count 1-2 on the designated hitter, Caden Ransom. Smith delivers. That's a fastball low and out. Count evens up 2 balls, 2 strikes. 13-pitch first inning for Brant Smith. That one roped to center field. Coming in is the center fielder, Will Thomas. Makes a running catch just to the right field side of second base for out number 1 in the second inning.
Well, that was a good piece by Caden Ransom. Good at bat, too. He saw a couple of good pitches, saw some variation out of the slot of Brant Smith, and put a good piece on it, but center fielder Will Thomas just there to make the catch.
That brings up Dayton Engelbart. He takes strike 1. Nick, for those who might have missed it, what happened to Engelbart in the first game against Millard South?
Oh, he just completely tumbled over the right field wall in Warner Park. And so it was one of those in foul territory, had no idea that it got a little bit shorter there, was chasing a foul ball and just completely did a front flip, full speed into the bleachers. It was a really scary sight.
Brant jumps ahead of him, 1 ball and 2 strikes, showing good command of both the fastball and the breaking ball. 1-2, chopped foul. Interesting spin on that baseball there, Nick. That landed in foul after it contacted Engelbart, and then it bounced about 6 feet back into the field of play.
Yeah, a good indication that it probably hit off of something not natural or not in the field of play, at least.
We'll do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Engelbart waggles the bat, wide lefty stance. Quick kick and delivery. This time it's chopped past the third base bag foul.
Brant Smith sitting up there about 80 miles per hour. That's a pretty good velocity against some of these Southwest hitters.
Comes with the breaking ball. Engelbart stays alive. That's now 3 foul balls this at bat.
To then be able to break off a 68 mile per hour break here, that's a tough variation there between a couple of pitches.
Comes back with a fastball at 83, knee high just inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Engelbart. Smith working quickly. There's the breaking ball slicing down the left field line. It's going to be foul. Giving it a look is the left fielder, Jacob Allstat. Missed it by just a few feet. He picks it up. Good hustle there. What an at bat here, Nick, by Dayton Engelbart. Right now he's working. This will be the 8th pitch of his at bat after Smith threw 6 pitches to the first batter of the inning, Ransom.
Well, that's the point, right? Is they only had 13 off of this guy in the first inning of play. Figure out a way to maybe put some more pitches against him, right? But also, I mean, to your point, Austin, look how far back the third baseman's playing. Opportunity right down the line here.
Back and off the line is another foul ball. This one back to the netting. Engelbart on the year, 276 hitter, 16 hits and 58 at bats. He's a senior. He takes a ball low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count runs full. Brant Smith fires a fastball low, and then, Nick, that is a heck of an at bat from Dayton Engelbart. He stayed alive, fouled off fastballs, a couple breaking balls as well, and then watched as Smith lost command of that fastball for the last 2 balls.
Once again, now this communication piece sets in, right? To tell the coaches, to tell the players, or tell your teammates what you saw, right? What's the indication? What's the tell out of Brant Smith's right hand on how you can kind of feel what pitch is coming?
That's the first base runner of the day, so Smith moves to the stretch. Misses the same spot he just did with ball 4. That's low and into another lefty, Ty Phillips. Phillips wearing number 24. He's a sophomore playing left field today. Had that error in the first inning. 225 hitter takes ball 2 low and in. Smith is missing low and into lefties here with these last few pitches, Nick.
I think it's about location of stride, right? You're maybe closing yourself off, which forces you to kind of throw around your body a little too much, pulling to the other side, right? If you step outside more so, your chest can fly open, and that's when you can get that elevated fastball, such type of pitches. So figure out that plant spot where you want to plant that left foot if you're Brant Smith.
Phillips fouls off the 2-0 and the 2-1. So just like that, Smith hops right back in the count. It's even 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. Top of the second inning, Millard South leading Lincoln Southwest 3-0. Here's Smith, set letter high, breaking ball. Doesn't quite catch the outside corner. Another full count now. That's 22 pitches this inning for Brant Smith. He's set, fires a full count home. Did Phillips go around? He did not. Started to swing. He held up on a fastball up and in. Runners on first and second with 2 outs with 1 out after back-to-back walks.
Engelbart and Lincoln Southwest has to be careful, right? If you're at first base, hopping back and forth is not the answer, not what you want to do, right? You're not going to be able to jar Brant Smith on the mound with just hopping back and forth. You're going to need purposeful movement, and instead, when you're hopping from one leg to the next, to all your momentum shifting from your right foot to your left foot, you're going to get crossed up and picked off eventually.
Vokoun swings through a fastball for strike 1, then calls time. He was 0 for 3 against Lincoln East yesterday. Flew out to left, reached on an error, and then grounded out to second base. Brant Smith set, shortstop, backs off. Pitch low in the dirt, blocked by Durr.
Durr's been really strong behind the plate all tournament. He's really, really talented behind the dish.
Haven't seen him throw off the arm. Lincoln Southwest hasn't looked to run yet. He backhands that one. Now they take off for third. Durr didn't realize it. Throws it into left field. Standing up and coming in to score is Dayton Engelbart. Throw to home is cut off by the pitcher, Brant Smith. Nick, as soon as Durr realized that he's got to know, he's got to keep that ball in his back pocket. It was far too late to attempt to make that throw down to third base. It eludes Gindra's grasp, and just like that, Lincoln Southwest on the board. Yeah,
especially I just mentioned how talented he's been behind the dish. Able to backpick one on the turf, right? That's good. On the turf, you have a lot higher of a chance of maybe being able to backpick some stuff. As a catcher, you don't always have to use your chest protector like you do on dirt. Ball is going to bounce off a little bit more as well. So that time, runner was surprised that he was able to pick that with his glove, but able to nice response by Brant Smith, Schmidt striking out Vokoun.
That's a full count pitch, a breaking ball. Did not test him with the fastball. We talked about the breaking ball from Humphrey, starting inside, breaking over the middle of the plate. Brant says, anything you can do, I can do better. Strikes out Vokoun looking. There's the second out of the inning. Runner still at second. It's Ty Phillips. Smith doubles up on that breaking pitch, starts Kaysen Seymour off with it for a strike.
Kaysen getting the start at third base today.
He's a right-handed hitter. Takes a fastball low and out. 83 out of the right arm of Brant Smith.
Talk about a tough one to see for your first time up there. First at bat in the state tournament too is you have a breaking pitch that looks like it's going to hit you immediately out of the hand, but then works its way back to the inside corner of the plate. Schmidt has shown multiple times that he's capable of throwing that pitch.
That breaking ball hits the outside corner. Seymour down in the count, 1-2. Next pitch, the 32nd of the inning. Smith delivers, fastball swung on, chopped up the middle. Thought Smith was going to get a glove on it. Instead, it's through second baseman. Logan Wick handles it 4-3 for the final out of the top of the second inning. Lincoln Southwest gets 1 run back. They leave a runner stranded on second base. Silverhawks trail the Patriots 3-1 as we head to the home half of the second inning. Back in a minute to Tal Anderson Field on 93.7 The Ticket.
Here you go. Coffee's on me and my new BFF.
I thought I was your best friend forever.
BFF like best financial friend at Members Own Credit Union. Right now, they're offering $100 when you consolidate or transfer a loan or an existing credit card balance and meet requirements. Plus, you get great rates and free advice from a financial partner that will put you first.
That sounds like a match made in heaven.
Members Own Credit Union is the type of bestie you can count on. Get started today at membersowncu.org/BFF. Limitations may apply. Equal housing opportunity.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Home half of the second inning, Millard South comes back to bat. They put a 3-spot on the board in the first inning off of Matthew Humphrey. 25-pitch first inning for the right-hander for the Silverhawks, wearing number 18. For the Patriots, it'll be Jacob Allstat, who caught the first out of the inning off a line drive from Caden Ransom. Up on deck is Logan Wick. He retired Kason Seymour for the final out of the top of the second inning, and then the lineup will flip over with Will Thomas.
You talked about it for Millard South. Smith had a really nice first inning against Lincoln Southwest. Good job by the Silverhawks in that second inning, seeing quite a few pitches. Saw over 34 pitches in that second inning from Brant Smith.
Allstat takes a fastball at 80 miles an hour for strike one. Humphrey slow windup. Now he fires home. Cut on and miss. That's another fastball. Humphrey jumps up 0-2. Humphrey set, keeps that glove and baseball about belt high. Off-speed pitch, just 6 miles an hour difference down in the dirt, 1-2. Allstat, the lefty, waits the delivery, laced to center field, but it appears that Trent Buda has a beat on it, backs up just a few steps. Good piece of the ball there by Jacob Allstat. Trent Buda, no issues, though, had it played just about perfectly for the first out of the inning.
I'll say Humphrey, despite the 3 runs on the scoreboard, he's been able to respond decently well. Yeah, sure. You'd probably like the one that you allowed Noah Carroll to hit back. You'd probably like the one that you allowed Brody Ginger to hit against the wall back. But there was a couple of errors in that first inning that certainly hurt Lincoln Southwest, and they're still right in the thick of it. A lot of baseball left to be played.
Brings Logan Wick to the plate. He's the 9-hole hitter, batting right-handed. .333 average on the year, 17 of 51. That one flared out over the head of Schaefer at shortstop. So the bottom of the order sets the table for the top. Logan Wick, a single to center, left center. He's aboard with one away.
Yes, now it's the top of the order, right? So now you figure out a way to get Will Thomas out, get him to use his at-bat, and then figure out an attack plan for Apen, Hart, and then the heart of the order with Durr and Gindra. This is a dangerous part of the lineup for Millard South.
Thomas walked on 6 pitches leading off the bottom of the first inning.
Easier said than done as well.
Humphrey's been out of the stretch all day. So here's Thomas. Thought about it, didn't pull the trigger, watches a fastball for a strike over the outside half. Left field deeper than right field in the defensive alignment for Lincoln Southwest. Thomas and Wick get the signs now. Will Thomas steps back into that left-handed batter's box. Couple bat waggles. Humphrey not checking the runner. Wick at first base. Now he does. Throws over. Wick back in time. We're out at Tal Anderson Ballpark here. 3rd out of 4 games tonight. We got Lincoln Southwest and Millard South. Humphrey, another long pause. Another throw back to first base. No tag applied by Vokoun. All right, Nick, now you've seen the move a couple times. Looks probably like the quickest move he has. If you're Wick, I think you feel comfortable adding his stuff.
Yeah, especially when your chest lands over the bag. You don't need your whole body, your whole torso to be over that first base bag when you slide back in.
Humphrey ahead 1-0 as Will Thomas pops the bunt up to third base. Kason Seymour read it, makes the catch on the fly. Will Thomas unable to advance the runner to second base. Really dropped that bat head there, Nick.
Well, this is an inexperience by Lincoln Southwest too, right? Because Kason Seymour makes that catch. The runner at first, in this case, Logan Wick, was already back at first base. Kason Seymour threw off of his back foot all the way over from the third base foul line over to first base. Luckily, it was a one hopper that the first baseman was able to grab. Those things can't happen. Those things are magnified because we saw it in previous games, Austin. Balls go past them, go into foul territory. Those are free 90 feet that you don't need to give up.
Another pickoff throw to first by Humphrey. Wick hasn't really extended that lead. First pitch up now, a back pick. Wick made it back just in time. His momentum slowed on the turf. I think he expected that rubber to carry him through. Didn't quite have to bear crawl, but did have to extend that right hand just enough to get back in. So Lincoln Southwest clearly paying attention to the 9-hole batter Logan Wick on first base. 0-1 the count. Another pickoff throw over to first base.
I'm somewhat surprised that they're paying this much attention to him. Millard South hasn't shown an indication other than Brody Ginger, which I think that was also on his own reconnaissance of, all right, I'm going to steal on my own. Haven't shown now he goes.
They pitch out. That throw way up the right center field side. I believe is that the second baseman over there covering Brennan Vernon? He's down. Wasn't able to pick the ball. His hat came off. It might have caught him.
Yeah. I think what happened there, so Wick slid into second base, and on that one, the ball kind of skirted under Wick's body, and off the hop, I think it might have drilled Brennan Vernon in some part in his body. And so as he fell down, his hat fell off as well, and he's still currently sitting out by second base.
Kason Seymour makes the trek over from third base to check on his second baseman. Athletic trainer and Brendan Vernon's dad, Mitch Vernon, coming out of this first base dugout for Lincoln Southwest to go check on his son, his second baseman.
It also wasn't a great throw by Sandy. I think so often nowadays, you get so caught up in how strong of an arm you have. I think a lot of it is fundamentals, right? If you're throwing off of your back foot as a catcher, or if you're throwing from a staggered stance where your momentum isn't taking you to second base, you don't give yourself much of a chance. You could combine both that strong arm that Sandy has, but then also figure out a way to create your momentum going forward towards second base, create a shorter throw for yourself, give yourself a chance to get on line with second base. It's a much easier throw. It's a much shorter throw when you're cutting down, 5, 6, 7, 8 feet of territory that your throw needs to cover. Plus, you're getting more power behind it because your momentum's taking you in that direction.
Throwing with just his arm off that back foot also allowed for more of that arm side run, which carried the ball toward that right center field side. It's a 1-1 count to Jackson Apin. He's in the right-handed batter's box, the second bat of the day.
Not to mention, you can also maybe draw batter's interference at times, right? If the batter doesn't get out of the way, you can draw batter's interference and a free out.
Wick at second, Humphrey on the hill, Apin in the box. Line drive down the third baseline is foul, so Humphrey now ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Apin reached on that error in left field by Ty Phillips, Nick. That kick started the Millard South inning after Thomas drew the walk. He got to third on the error down the line by Ty Phillips and left. It's 1-2. Humphrey comes set at the belt. Long look back to Wick at second. Delivers a breaking ball low and in the dirt. Sandy smothers it. Should mention that Brennan Vernon appears to be okay. He's responsible for holding Wick at second base right now.
They got to get some action at second base with somebody. There we go. As Brennan Vernon dives in to grab that pickoff attempt, you got to get some action. You cannot allow Logan Wick to just stand 12 feet off of the second base bag with no worry in the world of a pickoff attempt coming.
He's speedy enough to probably score on a base hit to the outfield anyways, but if you can give your outfielders that one extra step, you never know if it's going to make a difference. Another long look to second base by Humphrey. Wick dancing. Now Humphrey fires home. Ball in the dirt. Sandy, good job getting his chest over that ball, Nick. He didn't wait for it to come to him. He got on top of that ball and didn't let it bounce far.
So much of it also, you could tell that last pickoff attempt was a called play from the dugout, because you don't see Brendan Vernon working, or the shortstop Schaefer for that matter, working the base runner at second base on their own. You have to figure out a way to work it on your own, so that way it's a player call, not always a dugout call.
Vernon started dancing towards second base a little bit there as the breaking ball is in the dirt. That puts Jackson Apin aboard with a walk. Second walk of the day from Matthew Humphrey. That's now 2 runners on with 2 outs. That brings up the 3-hole hitter, Harrison Hartnick. Hart struck out looking on a pitch over the outside part of the plate. He wasn't a fan of it, but that was a big out at the time with runners on second and third.
Yeah, it was almost one of the first indication that maybe, Humphrey could get out of this inning, or out of the first inning that was.
Hart watches another pitch sail high and in. That's a fastball. He's up 1-0 in the count. Humphrey off the mound, takes a second to collect himself, looks down at the wristband on his glove arm. Couple quick checks of second base. Now he rises and fires.
I think time must have been called.
Umpire didn't throw his hands up. Hart stepped out of the box. Humphrey just lobbed an eephus pitch up there. It appears time will be granted. No official pitch recorded on the scoreboard, but I still didn't see anyone raise their hands for time.
And Hart, once again, that's one of the negatives about not being able to hear outside. Hart grabbed the ball out of air with his left hand.
So it's still 1-0. Humphrey delivers to Hart. He watches a breaking ball over the outside corner. Counts even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Seventeenth pitch of the inning coming from Matthew Humphrey. No runs across the plate for Millard South yet after 3 in the first. Another breaking ball in the dirt. Sandy's getting a workout back there, Nick. The breaking balls have consistently been down in that brown turf.
Yeah, good job by Sandy, though, behind the dish. Not allowing free 90s.
Key with 2 outs here. Keep just 1 runner in scoring position instead of the 2. So here's Harrison Hart. Another back pick to second base as Logan Wick has drawn, I believe that's 5 throws over in his time at first and second base. Hart, a .320 hitter on the year. 3 homers, 24 runs driven in. Humphrey got him looking in the first. 2 balls, 1 strike to the 3-hole hitter in the Patriots lineup. Here comes Humphrey's delivery. It's a fastball. Hart just underneath it. Just missed it. That one, Nick, was a powerful swing, would have been gone for a ride.
Well, and what I want to mention, I want to add on a thought just with the talk about middle infielders working the base runner at second, is you have 2 coaches, one at first and one at third base now for Millard South, who are having that conversation with the runner at second about whether or not to get back or not, as the pitch is fouled off to the right. But to continue that is what I mean is you don't want it to be so obvious every single time that you are going to pick off. So far, it's very indicative of Lincoln Southwest of that every single time that they pick off to a bag other than first base, which in this case it's second, is that it's a call from the dugout. Players got to do some stuff on their own to maybe mix up some signals.
Humphrey's 2-2 hit on a line to second base. Schaefer will go to Vernon at second base, and Lincoln Southwest leaves 2 runners stranded on base. Good job by Humphrey to pitch himself out of a runner in scoring position. It's 3-1. Millard South leads as we head to the top of the 3rd inning here in Omaha. Don't go anywhere. More Class A state baseball. An elimination game continues after this on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
We return to Tal Anderson Field. Brant Smith climbs the hill for his 3rd inning of work. Due up for Lincoln Southwest, the bottom of the order, Brennan Vernon, then the top with the call, Nick Sainer.
Brennan Vernon takes strike 1 over the heart of the plate. Showed bunt for a moment, now pulled back. Now a rope down the third base line, and it was misplayed by Brody Gindra at third. And Brennan Vernon has a leadoff single for the Silverhawks in the top of the 3rd inning. Now we turn the lineup over, and it's Schaefer. Schaefer, the starting shortstop, had a nice play on a rope that was hit by Millard South to end the 2nd inning. Lincoln Southwest surely not out of this one, as they certainly have a chance to get back into this game. 3-1 is your score. Millard South out in front by 2. Showing bunt is Schaefer and takes ball one up and away, 1-0. Both corners crashing in as soon as Schaefer showed bunt. I also wouldn't mind here a play that does not get called often enough, Austin, when you have corners rushing in, a fake bunt slash.
Mm-hmm.
And basically that's where obviously show bunt early on, pull back, you're choked up on the bat, and just like that, where they tried to slash it right there, but it was a shot into right field, shallow right field. It's a floater that actually touches down on the turf for a base hit. So a slash is meant as the first base coach talks about. He's had that downward angle to Schaefer when he got to first base, saying you got to hit down on that baseball. It's a way to get guys in motion, right? You have the corners crashing. You don't have to hit such a solid contact baseball to get it through that corner infield. And frankly, it's tougher to play it from 45 feet away if it's a rocket. So they got away with a lucky one there, but runners on first and second with nobody out. Now a bunt left side. Buddha gets it down. Pointing to first is Carson Durr, and he gets the first out at first base. But there we go. We see the evolution of the game. Fake bunt slash. Somebody does their job. Who starts off with a leadoff single, and now a bunt to bunt guys over, get the forces out of play. And now you have runners on second and third with one out.
The tying run in scoring position there. That's really good baseball all around there by Lincoln Southwest. Starts out with a nice shot down the third base line by Vernon. Then a little duck snort over to right field. Maybe not pretty, but it got the job done off the bat of Hudson Schaefer. And now you're at 3, 4, 5 in the lineup, Nick, and you need these guys to come through if you're Lincoln Southwest. Your best opportunity of the day, honestly.
So there you go. As a safety squeeze attempt does not prove to be successful as it's bunted foul by Landon Sandy. Sandy is one of the better hitters on this team. I think also there's something to be said about letting him swing the bat. Landon Sandy on the year, almost hitting 400 with 2 home runs and 22 runs driven in.
You took the words out of my mouth. I didn't want to have to be Mr. Anti-Bunt, but I don't love the bunt call with one out in your 3-hole.
Leads the team in RBIs and now watches ball one, does not look to bunt that time around, especially with the corners playing as in as they are. Jindra is even with the runner. You're talking about a guy that's D1 caliber, potentially a glove flip to the home plate to catcher and making a play. The 1-1 count. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike here in the top of the third inning. Smith comes set. The pitch. Up and away, 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike coming up as Smith struggling to find the zone consistently here. And it looks like Millard South is going to get an arm working in the bullpen.
It's okay to be careful on this pitch with first base open, Nick.
And they paint the outside corner with a backdoor breaking ball, 3-2. Bryson Botos looks to be one of the guys rushing down to the pen in left field to start warming up for Millard South. The 3-2 offering from Smith is low in the dirt. Way to lay off by Landon Sandy as he gets walked to load the bases. And now it's time for the cleanup hitter, Caden Ransom. Ransom on the season having a really good year. 306, 2 home runs, 17 runs driven in. And Carter Chamberlain is going to come on and courtesy run for Landon Sandy.
Ransom last time, Nick, laced a ball to Will Thomas out there in center field. If he does it again, it'll be worth a run. But with Millard South, you want to keep the ball on the ground as much as you can. Try to give yourself a shot at turning an inning-ending double play.
Bases are juiced. 1 out here in the top of the third inning. The first pitch roped up the middle. That will score 1 for Lincoln Southwest. Being held up at third is Schaefer, and the bases are still loaded as they go station to station, and Caden Ransom shoots one back up the middle, and it's 3-2 Millard South.
Great piece of hitting there by Caden Ransom. Basically the same thing he did his first at bat, just got on top of it a little bit more. That ball drops in front of Thomas. 2 rockets off the bat of the Southwest DH.
So there you have it. Caden Ransom out of the cleanup spot delivers. And now the 5-hitter in the lineup as it'll be Engelbart, the right fielder. But first, we're going to have a conversation on the mound. We'll step aside as well. Come back in 30 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats. Dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Nick Sainer and Austin Norman back with you out of the brief conversation on the mound. It'll be bases loaded for Lincoln Southwest, top of the third inning. Here comes the pitch to Engelbart. He takes strike one on the outer half, 0-1.
Nick Engelbart had that 11 pitch at bat, resulting in a walk his first trip to the plate.
Dayton Engelbart, left-handed hitter. The 0-1 pitch, just a tad farther outside, ball one, 1-1.
Curious to see bullpen management today, Nick, because you can't play for the rest of the tournament. You have to win today to get to tomorrow.
The 1-1 offer in the dirt, ball 2-1. So Vernon just scored. Schaefer is at third. Chamberlain, the courtesy runner for Landon Sandy, is at second. And you have Ransom at first base. Ransom not the fastest guy on the team, but the other two can certainly hold their own. The 2-1 pitch swung on, hit well, up the middle, off the diving glove of the shortstop. 1 run will score, being waved around third, and it's not in time as Chamberlain scores. And Lincoln Southwest has a 4-3 lead.
They're timing Smith up, Nick. Back-to-back shots up the middle for run-scoring singles. Lincoln Southwest bats have come alive here in the third inning.
So it's a 3-run third inning for Lincoln Southwest. They're not done yet, as it is 4-3, and quickly, I think they're going to turn to Bryson Botos out of the bullpen. So Smith's day is going to be done. They gave him one more chance, and it was a 2 RBI single off the bat of Dayton Engelbart up the middle. The shortstop for Millard South, Jackson Apin, made a diving attempt. It ricocheted off of Apin's glove into center field, and both Schaefer and Chamberlain were able to come around third and score. Ransom advanced just 90 feet into second base on that RBI RBI single rather. And obviously Engelbart, after knocking in 2 more RBI, he is occupying first base. So it is Bryson Botos on the mound. Botos, we saw him on Friday against this Lincoln Southwest team. Botos on the season, 3-2 record, a 4.38 earned run average. Throws from the right side, provides a little bit more velocity, but also, for the most part, Lincoln Southwest showed the ability to catch up to that velocity when Brant Smith was chucking it.
Keep the line moving sort of inning here for Lincoln Southwest. Like when you think about what Millard South has done, it was the easy opposite field power off the bat of Noah Carroll. Brody Gindra had that double. But for Lincoln Southwest, it's really been station to station. They did just score 2 runs on that last single there by Engelbart, but it's been a walk, a single, a sacrifice bunt off the bat of Trent Buda, another walk, and then back-to-back singles. Playing small ball, especially with the wind, in a pretty righty-heavy lineup here, even though there's a lefty taking swings here on deck in Ty Phillips. For the most part, a right-handed lineup. So the power is not going to be there hitting into the wind quite as much. So station to station is really what you have to do, especially against velocity as well, right? Because that's going to provide the power in your bat instead of you trying to swing out of your shoes and drive something.
So Botos throws from the right side, features fastball, curveball, touched 86 on that warm-up pitch right there. So now you're talking about consistent heat on the corner if Bryson Botos can end up spotting it up. We have a courtesy runner at second base, it looked like, or potentially a pinch runner at second base because Caden Ransom is out.
Braylon Lewis, number 13.
Lewis had pinch ran in yesterday's game against the Spartans. And now here he is. Ransom will have to re-enter. So this will be the only time that Lewis is able to check into the game as the backdoor breaking ball from Botos, talking about potentially on average about a 13 mile per hour shift from his fastball at 84 to that curveball at 71. Talking about taking a lot off of that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Botos. Backdoor breaker, can't work back far enough, and it's 2-1. Ty Phillips in for Lincoln Southwest here from the left side. 2 straight hits up the middle have given Lincoln Southwest the lead as Phillips takes a strike on the inner half, 2-2.
I like that 85-plus mile-an-hour fastball on the inside, Nick. That's going to be hard for a lot of high school hitters to turn on.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Backdoor breaker, up and away. 3-2.
Now, 85-86 can be tough to catch up to even on the outside part, but it's easier because you're going to be late and you can take it the opposite way.
Runners on first and second. The pitch from Bodos swung on, grounded softly to the shortstop. Won't be enough for 2, but they'll still throw it over to first. The out at second was completed, but Phillips reaches first on the fielder's choice. And so Engelbart is thrown out 6-4 on the putout for out number 2, but Phillips reaches first on the fielder's choice. That brings up Vokoun, the first baseman. We have a pinch runner at first as well in the form of number 10, Brandon Clark. But once again, Alex Vokoun, number 11, is stepping into the right-handed batter's box. We'll see if they throw Clark in motion right away. He does not go. Curveball stays up out of the zone, ball 1.
So what does that hurt at this point, Nick? You have the bottom of your lineup here. I absolutely get Clark in motion here. See if you can't get him in scoring position for the bottom of the order. If he gets thrown out, really no harm, no foul. You've taken the lead. You've scored 3 runs, and you get a reset in the top.
So Clark is the pinch runner at first, while there's a pinch runner at third as well in the form of Braylon Lewis. It was ball 2, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes to Alex Vokoun, the 7-hitter. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 3. So now, especially on a 3-0 count, do not go.
No.
Because Botos has not shown the ability to consistently spot up. The 3-0 pitch from Botos. Upstairs, ball 4, and the bases are loaded once again.
Nick, some listeners might be wondering why we're recommending stealing off such a hard thrower, but it's because the difference between an 85-mile-an-hour fastball and a 78-mile-an-hour fastball getting to the plate isn't that much. It's more about the pop time of the catcher than it is the speed of the pitch.
Well, so much of it is fundamentals as well. Carson Durr has it, but so far in today's game showed the ability to overthrow third base. And so applying that pressure, guys are going to be more pressed to make a play, get them out of this inning. They've been in the field for a long time. The bases are loaded. The 1-0 pitch outside, 2-0. To Kason Seymour. Seymour struggled this year, but still gets the start here to begin.
Coach Vernon holds up his left fist for a couple seconds. Seymour's taking all the way.
As it's ball 3, low and away. Looks like Boto struggling with his footing as we are on a turf field. They pulled up the plant spot for where the pitchers are in between games, applied a new piece, and it looks like Botos is struggling. They're going to send number 9, Brandon Burge, out to the bullpen to start warming up as Botos is struggling here 14 pitches in. He walks Kason Seymour, and Lincoln Southwest now leads 5-3.
Here's Vernon. He led off the inning with that single, Nick. They batted around.
That is correct. Lincoln Southwest bats around as Lewis, the pinch runner, comes in to score, and the first pitch of the at-bat to Vernon is a ball 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch way outside. Saved from going to the backstop by Carson Durr, and it's 2-0. That is 8 straight balls thrown by Bryson Botos.
Who's frustrated? You can see it on his face. You can see it in his body language. He's got that 85-86 pretty easily. Nick, if I'm Millard South's coaching staff, I might tell him to back it off just a little bit, right? You still throw hard enough naturally. Mm-hmm. You can take a mile per hour or 2 off to make sure your mechanics are right.
So Bryson Botos out of the windup. The pitch in there for a strike, 2-1. Brennan Vernon up to hit right now. The 9 hitter in the Lincoln Southwest lineup with the bases are loaded. That 2-1 pitch caught the corner, 2-2.
That's helpful for a struggling pitcher to get that call.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch swung on, grounded softly to the second baseman, fielded cleanly, and over to first in time. But how about a 4th spot, Southwest fans, as Lincoln Southwest leads 5-3 entering the bottom of the 3rd inning. We'll step aside, come back in 60 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial or residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Here you go. Coffee's on me and my new BFF.
I thought I was your best friend forever.
BFF like best financial friend at Members Owned Credit Union. Right now, they're offering $100 when you consolidate or transfer a loan or an existing credit card balance and meet requirements. Plus, you get great rates and free advice from a financial partner that will put you first.
That sounds like a match made in heaven.
Members Owned Credit Union is the type of bestie you can count on. Get started today at memberzonecu.org/BFF. Limitations may apply. Equal housing opportunity.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Nick Standard, Austin Norman back with you as we enter the bottom of the 3rd inning. Lincoln Southwest puts up 4 runs in the top half of the 3rd to lead now 5-3 over Millard South in an elimination game. It'll be hitters 4, 5, and 6 in the bottom half of the 3rd, starting off with Carson Durr, the catcher, as he takes the first pitch from Humphrey, hits it left side but foul, 0-1. This is really the group of hitters that if Millard South wants to quickly answer, no better ones to have up than Carson Durr, Brody Gindra, and Noah Carroll. Durr struck out looking his first time up, the 0-1 pitch, low and away, ball 1. Really nice response from Lincoln Southwest as well. Now, certainly part of it was some mistakes and miscues by Millard South, but as this one hit by Durr, 1 hop to the shortstop, easy throw over to first base in time to retire Durr. What I was going to say, though, is after allowing 3 runs in the bottom of the 1st inning, good response by Lincoln Southwest. They put up 1 just to chip away in the 2nd. Get Smith, Brant Smith, the starting pitcher for Millard South, a little shaky to begin with. And then in that 3rd inning, force Smith to come out of the game. They get Botos in. Botos struggles to locate, and they put up 4 runs. A really nice response from Lincoln Southwest. So now time for Brody Gindra, the 3rd baseman today, as he skies this one high, stays shallow right field. The 2nd baseman, Brennan Vernon, is there to make the catch. A nice response to this point from Matthew Humphrey. More so than even just the team, as Humphrey struggled to locate in that 1st inning. He has 50 pitches now through 2 2/3. And so now Matthew Humphrey will face Noah Carroll in the bottom of the 3rd with 2 outs. The pitch from the pitch from Humphrey almost hits Carroll, 1-0.
Carroll had that opposite field triple that Engelbart didn't take a great route on, but again, it was into the wind to the opposite field gap. Gap-to-gap power is, in my opinion, Nick, the truest form of that power. Anyone can pull a ball down the line, but if you can drive the ball from left center to right center, that's the biggest part of the yard, and that shows just how strong a hitter you are.
1 ball, 1 strike after a breaking ball catches the outside part of the plate. Here's the pitch from Humphrey, and that one, I thought I saw a ripple of the jersey, but nonetheless, it'll be ball 2.
Thought I did as well. Moved just a centimeter further out of the way than you maybe could have for a free base.
2 balls, 1 strike. 5-3 your score, Lincoln Southwest up. The pitch, breaking ball, worked itself back to the inner part, 2-2. Lincoln Southwest and Millard South. Lincoln Southwest leads 5-3 over the Patriots after being down 3-0 at one point. here at Tal Anderson Field in Omaha. The pitch on 2-2. Did he go? And he did. There's the inning. A nice response by Matthew Humphrey. Landon Sandy needs to be careful. He went back and screamed in the face of Noah Carroll of Millard South. And so he's got to be careful as tempers flare here at Tal Anderson Field. We head to the top of the fourth inning, due up in the top of the fourth for Lincoln Southwest. It's the top of the order. Schaefer, Buda, and Sandy all coming up to the plate when we return in 60 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats. Dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people. Small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial or residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
First steps to the plate, rips the ball to the right center field gap, cut off in the gap by the right fielder, Harrison Hart. Throw deflects off the glove of the second baseman, Logan Wick, on the cutoff throw. One pitch into the fourth inning, and Lincoln Southwest is back in business as Hudson Schaefer reaches base for the second consecutive at-bat. One pitch, a runner on second base for Lincoln Southwest. It is Botos back on the mound for Millard South. I'm Austin Norman, Nick Sainert to my left. Appreciate you joining us really all week for high school state baseball action. Here's Botos. He's set, belt high. Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Carson Durr. Trent Buda to the plate. He went 3 unassisted. His first at bat, dropped down a sacrifice bunt for the first out of the third inning. He squares the bunt again, pulls back. There's the fastball at his feet. He's up in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Botos on the mound, really struggling with his control right now. On the year, a 4.38 ERA, 3 wins, 2 losses, as there's a ball bounced up the middle, backhanded by Logan Wick. He throws to first to retire Trent Buda. There's out number 1 of the inning on the play. Schaefer moves 90 feet from second to third.
It's those little things, right? That you certainly take that. If you're Lincoln Southwest, certainly you would love to see it get through there if you're Buda. But hey, you did your job. You moved him over, and now Lincoln Southwest back in business for the third straight inning.
That brings the infield in for Millard South and Landon Sandy into the left-handed batter's box. 6-3, his first at bat, walked in that 4-run third inning for Lincoln Southwest. He takes a breaking ball over the outside corner, strike 1. Here comes Botos again. Misses wide. Counts even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Deep breath, little shrug of the shoulders from Botos. Millard South dressed in white from top to bottom as Sandy hacks and fouls it back over our heads, 1 and 2. Southwest in the all grays, green numbers, front and back, green helmets. Botos works it very quickly, fires in a breaking ball, just misses on the outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Either Botos is extremely consistent or the radar gun is not working anymore. That breaking ball is not at 85. Botos lost control. It was up and out. Full count now for Landon Sandy.
That's unfortunate. It's nice to have that radar gun there to give us an idea.
Pitch count still working, which is just as good for us. Back-to-back plate appearances with a walk for Landon Sandy as he laid off a fastball up and in. That puts runners on the corners for Lincoln Southwest with 1 out. Here comes Carter Chamberlain out of the dugout to courtesy run for Landon Sandy. And Nick, I still think Lincoln Southwest puts Carter Chamberlain in a steal situation here to try to prevent a double play as Ransom steps to the plate.
I would also talk about that pitch from Botos. That's a good miss, right? It's just a better at bat and a better discipline there shown by Landon Sandy. It wasn't too far up. It was just a tad inside, and it's just like, man, if you're Botos on the mound, you're sitting there going, what do I have to do to get these guys to maybe just take a pitch or take a strike? More importantly, Lincoln Southwest doing a really good job of plate discipline, both in what pitches they should swing at, but then also which pitches they should lay off.
Millard South won this matchup 4 games into the regular season. They won it 9-1. Lincoln Southwest won on Friday. Here's a ground ball bounce to the shortstop. 6-4-3. Just like that, Bryson Botos is out of the top of the 4th inning. He escapes 2 runners on base by getting Ransom to ground into a 6-4-3 double play. It's 5-3. Lincoln Southwest leads Millard. South will be back with the Patriots home half of the 4th inning just after this on 93.7 The Ticket.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial or residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Here you go. Coffee's on me and my new BFF.
I thought I was your best friend forever.
BFF like best financial friend at Members Own Credit Union. Right now, they're offering $100 when you consolidate or transfer a loan or an existing credit card balance and meet requirements. Plus, you get great rates and free advice from a financial partner that will put you first.
That sounds like a match made in heaven.
Members Own Credit Union is the type of bestie you can count on. Get started today at memberzonecu.org/BFF. Limitations may apply. Equal housing opportunity.
5 runs on 5 hits and a first inning error for Lincoln Southwest. 3 runs on 3 hits and an error for Millard South. It's the Patriots coming to bat. We're halfway home. Lincoln Southwest leads 5-3. Leading off for Millard South is the designated hitter today, Colin Driffel. He grounded out to Kaysen Seymour back in the first inning. He was the final out of that first inning. Matthew Humphrey still on the mound. He pitches out of the windup for Lincoln Southwest. Slow windup, kick and fire, breaking ball. Just missed the outside corner. That looked pretty good from here. Ruled ball. Humphrey, just a 2-pitch mix is what we've seen so far. Another breaking ball. This one, a little bit better. They call it a strike. Counts even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Driffel wears number 26. He's a .418 batter on the year, 23 of 55. That pitch misses low off the right hand of Humphrey. Creighton Prep sitting down straight in front of us. They're in their baby blues, trying to keep their season going after they lost to Millard West last night. 3 balls and 1 strike after Driffel takes another pitch low. Humphreys walked 2 through his first 3 innings of work. He's ready. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Driffel flicked the wrist, but not enough to go around. There's the 3rd walk of the day fired by Matthew Humphrey. So there's a runner on first base. Out of the dugout comes Gustav Gadsden. He will pinch run. Driffel trots back to the dugout after drawing that walk to lead things off here in the Patriot 4th inning. Brings to the plate Jacob Allstat, left fielder, lined out to center field, his first at bat, leading off the 2nd inning. Allstat, tall, lanky lefty. Humphrey, righty on the mound. Fastball's outside for ball 1. We're here in Exarban, just outside of it, Baxter Arena to our right. The Exarban district straight ahead of us over the batter's eye. Humphrey's 1-0 pitch blasted toward the gap in right center field. That's going to be cut off deep in the gap by Engelbart. Cutoff throw goes into the second baseman, Vernon. but that's a double for Jacob Allstat to the right center field gap. Great hustle by Engelbart there, Nick. If that gets past him, that's trouble. I'm a little surprised that Gadsden didn't score on that. I guess he had to wait to see if Engelbart wouldn't be able to track it down on the fly.
I mean, I'll also say this too, is that it was very impressive that, and something to note, hit your cutoff, right? Engelbart didn't just turn around, plant his foot, and fire it in just anywhere towards the infield. He found his cutoff guy, made an accurate throw to the second baseman, and things like that are ways that you can prevent guys from scoring, just additional runs that aren't needed.
We've got two players throwing down in the Lincoln Southwest bullpen down the first baseline. We have a visit to the mound. Let's step aside for 30 seconds for this brief conversation. Back in the bottom of the fourth inning right after this.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Quick reset for Matthew Humphrey. Coach jogs back into the dugout. Runners on second and third. It's Gustav Gadsden who pinch ran for Colin Driffel. Led off the inning with a walk for Millard South. Jacob Allstad just drilled a double to right center field. Two runners in scoring position. A 2-run deficit for Millard South brings up the bottom of the lineup in Logan Wick. He singled his first at bat. Goes after the first pitch. A fastball. Puts a good swing on it. Fouled back to the netting.
Yeah, it's a good day for Millard South if you can get production from guys like Allstat and Wick, more than just on the base paths.
Now here's Wick playing second base today. Fastball, aggressive frame from Sandy. Missed outside. High school baseball, you never know, but Nick, at the upper level of baseball, if you're that aggressive with your frame, moving your arm that violently, not likely to get the call.
Not likely to get the call, and also not likely to get pitches that are closer to the zone that you still need to do some work with to get them called strikes either.
Wick swings through a fastball letter high. He's down in the count 1-2. Vernon and Schaefer not working the runner at second base. We talked about that in the first inning, Nick. That's the tying run. I would maybe try to keep him a step or two closer just to give your outfielders a little bit better shot.
You don't have to pick off. Just be active, right? Instead of letting them get 14, 15 feet off the base.
Wick fouls it back to the netting again, almost identical to the first pitch of the at-bat. Good hustle from center fielder Will Thomas to pick it up at the backstop.
Speaking of Creighton Prep, I really like those baby blues.
They look sharp. Got to give him credit for that. Here's Humphrey. Big leg kick. Wick fouls that one off the netting. Further down the first baseline into the Southwest dugout. We'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wick on the year, 333 hitter. Singled in the second. Here's Humphrey, comes set, long look back to second base. He pauses, brings it home. Wick chops it past his third base coach, foul.
This feels like one of those opportunities that we've talked a lot about with various teams, to where you're not going to get a lot of chances, or at least prime chances. And this feels like a really, really good opportunity for Millard South to tack on and make a crooked number, just like Lincoln Southwest did against them in the third.
Here's Humphrey, 1-2 for the third time. Breaking ball popped up right side. Vokun gives it a look. He's drifting back. He's backpedaling. Had to flip the glove over to make a little bit of a basket catch there, about 6 or 7 feet into the outfield turf. Job unsuccessfully done there from Logan Wick, Nick. I think that's a player that wants to keep the ball on the ground to the right side instead of try to lift it.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And maybe that's one of those early in the count where understanding, yes, I get that he had a single in the second inning, but maybe you allow him to try to bunt and do it in that area between the pitcher, the first baseman, the second baseman. Put a little more power behind it as well. It doesn't have to be always so soft, right? Everybody thinks that you need to have it in between the catcher and the pitcher for it to be a productive push bunt down the first base line. You can do it in between the pitcher, first baseman, and even second baseman, because then you're talking about the pitcher having to run the farthest distance to be able to go cover it. Guys throwing across their body, weird angles, the second baseman's momentum bringing them to home plate and having to throw across his body to first base in a bang-bang play. You're talking about putting the defense in a disadvantageous position to make a play. And guess what? We didn't even talk about how that would have scored a run.
Mitch Vernon out of the first base dugout. Silverhawks flocking out of the dugout as well to greet Matthew Humphrey, whose day is done after 69 pitches, according to the scoreboard. There's a lefty on the mound. We'll tell you about him in 60 seconds when we return to Tal Anderson Baseball Field in Exarban when we return on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats. Dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Here you go. Coffee's on me and my new BFF.
I thought I was your best friend forever.
BFF like best financial friend at Members Own Credit Union. Right now, they're offering $100 when you consolidate or transfer a loan or an existing credit card balance and meet requirements. Plus, you get great rates and free advice from a financial partner that will put you first.
That sounds like a match made in heaven.
Members Own Credit Union is the type of bestie you can count on. Get started today at memberzonecu.org/BFF. Limitations may apply. Equal housing opportunity.
The new arm for Lincoln Southwest is a lefty out of the bullpen in Lincoln Dush, D-U-S-H, Lincoln Dush. He'll face the lefty hitter of Will Thomas, the top of the order of Millard South, coming up with runners on second and third. Here to finish out the fourth inning, Austin Norman.
Runners on second and third, as Nick said, 1 out. Lefty-lefty matchup. Dush throws from the left side. Little bit of a push motion for the southpaw. Will Thomas, leadoff hitter for the Patriots, drew a walk his first at bat, popped out to third in the second. First pitch swinging, chopped. That'll score a run as Schaefer mishandles the ball. Run would have scored anyways. Not a lot of energy there, Nick. I wonder if they're waiting for it to be called foul. I don't think it was. I think that was just a soft chopper in front of home plate. Schaefer had no chance to get the speedy Thomas. Smart base running by Allstat at second base as well. I thought there for a second he might have been able to break had he gone immediately and beat the ball past Hudson Schaefer, but he stays put at second base. That is an RBI single for Will Thomas on the first pitch of Lincoln Dush's appearance. Back pick to second base. Again, telegraphed, saw that one coming. As it appears, Murphy Helm is the runner now. Came in for Allstat. Gustav Gadsden was the one that crossed the plate. He ran for Colin Driffel, who drew a walk to start off the fourth inning. Big lead from Helm at second base as Dush misses away.
Once again, so just a little bit of catching here. When you talk about Landon Sandy, what he's trying to do is he's setting up right down the middle of the plate. He's trying to take those pitches that are outside as this one's ripped into center field. I'll let you take it. Go ahead, Austin.
Murphy Helm did not get a good read on that ball, Nick. I thought it was down the whole way. Helm took a couple steps, froze, retreated a step, still makes his way to third base. Could have been a run-scoring single for Jackson Apin, who's on base for the second straight at bat, but a single nonetheless. It loads the bases for Harrison Hart. Tough day at the plate for him, a strikeout looking, a 6'4 fielder's choice to end the second inning. But, Nick, he's a dangerous hitter on the year, a .320 average and 3 long balls.
Yeah, back to what I was saying about Landon Sandy behind the dish. He's lined up or set up in the middle of the plate. He tries to reach across his body and quickly bring it back into the zone when a ball is outside of the zone. It's going to be much more of a positive outcome for Lincoln Southwest and a much higher rate percentage of strikes called if he's able to get his center of his body out when he catches it. Not such a violent motion with that arm, right? Because he swipes it. It's a swipe when he's bringing it back inside. That's such an aggressive and loud motion for the umpire it's almost impossible for the umpire not to see it, and he knows that he's trying to pull it in and steal a strike.
Dush has been pitching outside pretty consistently. That one runs in. That's a fly ball to right field, moving underneath it, the right fielder, Engelbart. He gets behind it, cutoff throw, goes to Schaefer, relay throw to third, not in time. That'll be an RBI sac fly off the bat of Harrison Hart. Murphy Helm comes in to score, and that's Will Thomas moving up from second base to third base on the sac fly. This game's tied at 5 after a 2-run response from Millard South here in the bottom of the 4th.
Nice job by Millard South, right? It was one of those times where it was okay. Here we go. You have a chance to make a dent on the scoreboard once again. Lincoln Southwest put up a crooked number on you. Now it's time for you to do the same thing. You have your heart of your order coming up, and literally with Harrison Hart, last batter.
I was gonna say, well, the heart of the order is now in the dugout, but
there you go.
The HEART of the order still up. Here's Carson Durr, 0 for 2, strikeout looking, and a ground out to shortstop. Dush's pitch outside. Ball 1. The other part about that, I'll continue your point on Sandy, Nick. If the objective is to work outside, set up your body on the outside, because often high school umpires will give you the benefit of the doubt for hitting your spot, even if it's off the plate. Slow pickoff move to first by Dush. That's Jackson Apin, the shortstop, standing at first base. He takes his lead. Pretty aggressive lead as Dush delivers high and out, ball 2.
And once again, one of my pet peeves from watching from above is, and it's not just Sandy that does it, it's that they're trying to make every single pitch that's thrown a strike. You got to allow balls to be balls and maybe a couple that are a couple baseball widths out. Then that's something that you can steal for a strike. But you have to know and have a discipline as the catcher. And I'm not saying I had the perfect amount, but I'm saying what I'm saying is you have to allow a ball to be a ball. Don't try to take a ball that's 6 inches out of the zone and swipe it back into the strike zone to get it a called strike.
Dush's 3-0 crosses the plate. It's a strike, 3-1. Carson Durr at the plate. Patience going to be the name of the game with Brody Jindra on deck. Durr steps out, wants to reset. Lincoln Dush, the lefty. Carson Durr, the righty. High step, throw over to first base. Apin going nowhere, but retreats.
Carson Durr against Lincoln Southwest on Friday went 2 for 3, had 2 singles 2 for 2. He got hit by a pitch as well, and 2 singles. Came around to score both of those times against Lincoln Southwest on Friday. But how about this? He was hitting 7th in that lineup back on Friday, now all the way up to 4th. That's where he's been the last 2 games for Millard South.
Fouls a pitch over the heart of the plate off to the right. Count runs full, so the runner at first is Jackson Apin. He'll be in motion. First baseman not holding him. Apin takes off as Durr waves and misses. So Lincoln Southwest limits the damage to the game being tied at 5 as we head to the 5th inning. Lincoln Dush works out of the jam. We head to the 5th inning, knotted up at 5. We'll be back momentarily to Tal Anderson Field and 93.7 The Ticket.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Bryson Botos on the mound for Millard South. He'll face 5, 6, and 7 in the Lincoln Southeast order, beginning with Dayton Engelbart. On the call, Nick Sainer.
Austin, I got to be honest, man. So I love the uniform matchup for our next game. The uniform matchup with the charcoal gray unis of Elkhorn South against the powder blues of Creighton Prep. it is such an appealing sight to the eyeballs.
The only way it would be better was if Creighton Prep went all baby blue, including the pants. The white pants are still plenty sharp, but if you had all gray on all baby blue, that's the only nitpick critique I have.
Completely agree. All right, Dayton Engelbart, the first hitter for Lincoln Southwest. He takes strike one, the 0-1 offering inside ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Dayton Engelbart, hitting from the left side, facing Botos, who's still in this ball game for Millard South. Give credit to Botos. He's settled in over the last couple of innings, put up a couple of zeros, gotten out of some jams thanks to a double play or so that was hit by Caden Ransom to end the top of the fourth. So once again, 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Dayton Engelbart. Engelbart had that single back in the third inning that sneaked through the middle of the field. Now the 3-2 payoff pitch, fouled off left side. Good job by Engelbart staying alive. We'll do it again at full count.
Had that long at bat his first time, then the single his second at bat. That's great bat control to fight off pitches that aren't his and stay alive.
This one, the 3-2 pitch hammered out to right center field. The right fielder ranging over and makes the catch for out number 1. So F9 on the putout. And that brings up Ty Phillips. Rather, scratch that. They're going to pinch hit and bring in the guy that they actually subbed in as a pinch runner, number 10, Brandon Clark. So Brandon Clark stays in despite pinch running. So Ty Phillips' day is done, and Clark takes ball 1 up and out of the zone, 1-0. We saw Phillips misplay, or not even misplay, just drop a ball out of his glove in left field back in that first inning, a first inning that then after that play, Millard South rattled off 3 runs. Be a different ball game if it was 5-2 right now in the 5th instead of 5-5. So here we are, 2 balls, no strikes to Brandon Clark. 2-0 offering, fastball on the outside corner, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, and it's 3-1. Botos likes to stick with that fastball, which is a good thing, right? Because he's definitely one of those guys that can blow it by you. As the 3-1 offering in the zone on the corner, nice pitch on 3-1. Brandon Clark, who just checked into the game for Ty Phillips officially, needs to take the bat off his shoulder here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch swung on and missed, and Brandon Clark goes down swinging for out number 2. And Botos quickly 2 up, 2 down here in the top half of the 5th.
Botos is a guy that if he manages to pitch at a college someday, every broadcaster in the country is going to want him as the Sunday guy. He does not waste any time. He gets that baseball and he is ready to go.
So first pitch, the at-bat to Alex Vokoun, the first baseman for Lincoln Southwest. He checks his swing, does not go around, ball 1 up out of the zone, 1-0. Top of the 5th inning, we're all squared at 5 apiece. The pitch, upstairs, again, 2-0. Get out of the attic, Bryson Botos. As now we're going to have a conversation with the third base coach, between the umpire and the third base coach. Once again,
it's about the pace, right? Botos is going so quickly.
And now we have, I believe the third base coach just got tossed. So the third base coach just got tossed because he is frustrated with the Bryson Botos pace. This was something that was stemming over the last 2 innings of play, because ever since Botos came into the game, it was not the head coach. Mitch Vernon does not do the third base coaching. The home plate umpire starts to back away as he starts to have a conversation. And now Mitch Vernon will have to come out and do the third base coaching as their third base coach initially gets tossed. And so he was saying that he doesn't pause in between coming set. Now, it's not a balk when
there's no one on base.
It's not a balk. Yeah, it's not a balk when nobody's on base. However, we've seen umpires call time and tell guys to slow down and not quick pitch here. And so now that the assistant coach, the old third base coach, is still hanging out in the dugout, but play has resumed as it's 3 balls now, and 1 strike to Alex Vokoun. So Mitch Vernon now has to do the third base coaching duties down there instead of being in the dugout where he would rather be. So the head coach now at third base. The 3-2 pitch from Botos came right back our way. I was going to catch that one, Austin.
That was right at you.
I was going to catch that one.
I will say, Nick, on the issue of pace, I mean, you see the umpire point to Botos, and he's basically a step into his windup as there's a wave and a miss. But at some point, if you're Lincoln Southwest, take it on yourself, right? I know you just stepped back into the batter's box, but come up with like, oh, there's something in my eye, or, oh, shit, I didn't get my glove readjusted. Call a quick time, or you step in the box, your hand's still up.
Yep.
Then you take that other step out, to get an extended timeout call, as Mitch Vernon still talking with the home plate umpire.
That is the end of the top of the fifth as Vokoun goes down swinging for out number 3. So once again, an interesting ending as the third base coach has gotten ejected, an assistant of Lincoln Southwest, because Mitch Vernon, the head coach, hangs out in the dugout, but now no more, as he'll have to take over the third base coaching responsibility. We head to the bottom of the fifth inning. Millard South coming up to the plate as it's tied 5-5 here at Tal Anderson Field. We'll be back in 30 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Nick Standard, Austin Norman with you. We were talking during the break. Surprising that there was no preliminary conversation between the home plate umpire and the Lincoln Southwest head coach, Mitch Vernon, before just instantly ejecting the third base assistant coach. Just kind of surprised on that one. And then if it continues, then we take matters into your own hands if you're the home plate umpire. I understand wanting to get control of this game. I am all in favor of that as well. We see that too much at the high school level, especially in state basketball, where umpires and referees don't get control of game. It gets out of hand. Coaches, players, the attitudes do. So that's where I feel like a call or a conversation with Mitch Vernon of, hey, make sure your third base coach understands that I don't talk to him. You and I talked back and forth. And if there's an issue, we have that conversation. But ultimately, he tossed him. Here, the 1-1 count as that one roped into center field off the bat of Gindra, and it's caught by the center fielder. Out number 1 for Brody Gindra.
To finish that thought there, Nick, it didn't seem like there's a lot going on with the third base coach. Maybe the actions went a little over the top, but that to me, either there was something magical said or it was a quick trigger.
There you go. The first pitch of the at-bat is a ball 1-0 to Noah Carroll. I also think, certainly you can do the whole shoe tying thing. I think also we've seen umpires this week be very lenient with time awarded and late in the process. If that batter feels like they're getting rushed, just say it. Just say time. You have to verbally say it. You can't always put your hand up. You have to sometimes yell it so that the umpire hears it. But either way, one of those just simple solutions can maybe avoid your third base coach from getting tossed. It is 3 balls, no strikes to Noah Carroll.
I'll be curious to see, Nick, as Major League Baseball has implemented its pitch clock for the last couple of years, how long it takes for that till it makes its way into high school baseball, right? Especially in the state of Nebraska, which was pretty slow to adopt a shot clock in basketball. But we've talked the last couple of days about the high-level talent in the Nebraska prep ranks in baseball. So I wonder if Nebraska could almost be a pioneer in baseball pitch clock and give its players an advantage as they move to the college and professional games.
3 balls and no strikes. 5-5 is your score between Lincoln Southwest and Millard South. The pitch, ball 4. So Carroll draws a 1-out walk. He will stand on first base, bringing up Colin Driffle. Driffle, the designated hitter, he walked back in the 4th inning, came all the way around to score. The 5th inning. No, he walked in the 4th inning. Courtesy runner is number 5, Nathan Christensen. Christensen got the start a couple of days ago for Millard South, not in the starting lineup today, but is pinch running for Carroll. The first pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1.
If you're Dush, you probably want to bring that down 3 or 4 inches. That's a very hittable pitch over the outside part.
No balls, 1 strike. The pitch is on the outside corner. Strike 2.
Just like that. He heard me.
No balls, 2 strikes. Runner on first is Christensen. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lincoln Southwest tied with Millard South. And once again, ball is outside, just a little too far, and it's ball 1. Also, one thing I will say, when you're so loud behind the plate, and loud movements, I should say, you take pitches that are close to being strikes that at the high school level umpires will give you, and when you move your arm so much, it makes it look like not a strike. It makes it look like you did a lot more than you needed to. As this one's roped down the right field line, Christensen zooming around second base, around third. He will score. Round second goes Driffle, sliding in head first, and he is in there with an RBI triple as Millard South takes the lead on a 1-out RBI triple down the right field line. There was nothing that the Lincoln Southwest right fielder Dayton Engelbart could do as that one hugged the line, went towards the corner, and Christensen zoomed around third, and sliding into third base was Colin Driffle. So the designated hitter comes up big, and now Jacob Allstat steps into the box. The first pitch hits the outside corner for a strike, 0-1.
Good piece of hitting by Driffle, but Nick, they were working him outside, and the right fielder Engelbart didn't move over to guard the line at all. If you're going to pitch him outside, you have to shift your right fielder over that way to prevent exactly that from happening.
So no balls, 2 strikes after Allstat fouls off the second one. It's a lefty-lefty matchup here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Millard South has taken a 6-5 lead as now it make it 7-5. An RBI single up the middle off the bat of Allstat. And once again, we talked about that production from the bottom of Millard South's order. And here you have it, to where Jacob Allstat, the 8-hitter in their lineup, able to hit an RBI single in the bottom of the 5th with 1 out and score Driffle from third base. So you have an RBI triple from Driffle, the 7-hitter, and then an RBI single from the 8-hitter Allstat. Now it's the 9th in the lineup, and we have a balk called on Lincoln Dush. And the assistant in the Lincoln Southwest dugout throws his hands up in disbelief after that's exactly what he was arguing prior to Lincoln Southwest taking the field this inning.
I was going to say that would be the perfect time for a push bunt there, Nick, with a lefty on the mound, first baseman holding the runner, try to get him into scoring position. Dush did the job for him. Now a simple base knock extends the lead.
Your count is 1 ball and no strikes to Logan Wick, the second baseman for Millard South. 7-5 your score. Quick bunt down the left side. Dush throws it over to first base, and nobody is home. He just turned and threw it. And Millard South adds another one as Allstat comes around from second and scores. Lincoln Dush fielded that to his right on the third base side of the pitcher's mound. The first baseman, for some reason, crashed, forcing the second baseman to then cover first base once Vernon realized that the first baseman was not home. Lincoln Dush, the pitcher, turned and without even seeing anybody at first base, threw it, and nobody was home into the wall. And around third base came Allstat for the run. It's 8-5, and on the air from Lincoln Dush, which, by the way, Austin, I thought he may have had to play at third, but also on the play, good backside running by Logan Wick as he swipes another 90 feet and slides into second base.
I'm in total agreement. I'm surprised he didn't go to third. The bunt took him that way. It was pretty hard off the bat. It bounced right into his glove. Dush's momentum was taking him to third base, and Seymour was there.
Yep.
He was ready for it. Not a great read off the bat by Allstat, who was standing at second base. Didn't get a great jump. It would have been a close play, but I thought the move was to third. In his sight line, would have taken a quick little overhand flip to bring Seymour down, and you would have gotten the lead runner.
And here's the thing is now also we saw the opposite in the last game with Blair, to where we saw the opposite, to where the momentum was taking the player to first base. He threw it to third, and air that allowed a run to score. It make this simpler play for some of these players. So now it is going to be the top of the Millard South order. Just one out in the bottom of the fifth. A 3-spot put up by the Patriots here in the home half of the fifth inning. Lincoln Dush, the pitcher, comes set at the belt in the stretch. He fires it, bunts down the left field line as Will Thomas is going to be safe at first. Kason Seymour, if he would have just waited about probably 5 more seconds, that was going to go foul. That had some side spin on it off the bat, and understanding the surface that you're playing on, it's going to be extremely difficult for that bunt to just stop on a dime. So if you fielded that like Kason Seymour did in between the turf grass and the foul line, understand that, hey, the angle is taking it towards foul territory.
The pitch from a lefty naturally is tailing that way. Thomas didn't bunt it on the ground right away. It was up in the air. It had some of that spin left on it. Yeah, it might have taken a couple seconds without Seymour being in a rush, trying too hard to make a play.
And now with Kason Seymour playing in for some reason, it's going to be a ground ball over his head on a chopper and another single. That if Seymour was even with the bag or even maybe a step behind it, because even on a squeeze, you don't need to be in as a third baseman. That's the first baseman's ball. And so now Millard South starting to pour it on as that ground ball squirts through the infield, and runners will be on first and second with just one out. On the play, Wick goes to score. Thomas advances to second, and Apin with an RBI single.
Nick, that's a sophomore in Kason Seymour over there at third base. A learning experience at just the wrong time for Lincoln Southwest. You mentioned only 3 seniors on this Millard South roster, but this is where a guy like Hudson Schaefer at shortstop has to take control of that huddle there. You saw the catcher, Sandia Jr., go out, try to give his bullpen time to get warmed up. Someone in Lincoln Southwest has to get the team's attention to make a play and get them out of this inning to stop the bleeding sooner than later.
So now with runners on first and second, wouldn't be surprised to see Hart square, just because Lincoln Southwest has shown the inability to cover a bunt. And now, for some reason, now you have Kason Seymour playing behind the third base bag. The first baseman for Lincoln Southwest is 4 steps behind the first base bag and not anywhere close to the first base line. You have the middle infielders playing double play depth, understandably, but Harrison Hart takes ball 2. Now a back pick at second base is in time, and they're going to get the runner at second base, Will Thomas. So Will Thomas got about 45 feet off the bag on the secondary lead, and Landon Sandy able to throw behind the runner and pick him off at second base. That's also one of those situations to where if Will Thomas feels like he can draw a throw, get out to 45 feet, make Landon Sandy throw it to second behind you, you scurry on to third. That's a free 90 feet. That's something then you have to worry about as the catcher. You got to run at him at some point there to limit the extra hit.
If you're going to throw behind,
or extra base,
if you're going to draw the throw behind you, you absolutely break for third. That is a huge missed opportunity and a huge mental mistake by Will Thomas. If you get a guy to throw behind, you never throw behind a runner unless there's only a guy on first base. That's a risky play by Landon Sandy. But right after Lincoln Southwest has some mental mistakes, Millard South follows up with one of their own.
There you go. Harrison Hart, 3 balls, 1 strike to him here in the 5th inning. What a bizarre series of events this last 5th inning has been. Assistant coach has gotten tossed, back picks, errors, misplayed bunts, a little bit of everything as the 3-1 offering is taken for a strike, 3-2.
The other reason that's so big, Nick, is because we've seen a team just today come back from down 4.
There you go.
There's a runner in scoring position with only 1 out, and you give yourself up on a brain fart.
So Lincoln Southwest, the runner goes on the 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. It's a soft chopper to Vernon. He flicks it over to first base, and that'll do it. Millard South adds 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th, and just like that, in a blink of an eye, Lincoln Southwest only has 6 outs to work with. That's all they got here as we enter the top of the 6th inning here from Tal Anderson Field in Omaha. We'll step aside, come right back in 60 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard, increase security, and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats. Dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people. Small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
9-5. Millard South leads Lincoln Southwest. Patriots trailed it 5-3, but have struck for 6 runs in the last 2 innings. I'm Austin Norman. Nick Sainert to my left. It's Bryson Botos, the righty on the hill. His breaking ball crosses the plate for strike 1 to Kason Seymour. Seymour, his last at bat, drew a bases-loaded walk. He was the 9th hitter to come to the inning, or to come to bat in that 3rd inning for Brennan Vernon in the 9-hole. Had his second at bat, grounded out 4-3 to end that 4-run 3rd inning for Lincoln Southwest. We're in the top of the 6th. Seymour, the sophomore, he's 0 for 1 without RBI walk today. He's ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Make it 3-1 as fastball sails over Seymour's head. Some action in the Millard South bullpen down the left field line. Here's Botos' 3-1, taken belt high for a strike. Count runs full. Botos, 55 pitches. Number 56 is chopped out to shortstop with a bead on it. That's Jackson Apin. He fires across the diamond, gets Seymour by a step. There's the first out at the top of the 6th inning. That's a 6-3 put out to retire Seymour. Up to bat now, the righty Brennan Vernon. His first 2 at-bats of the day, both came in that 3rd inning. He led it off with a single, came around to score. He ended the inning as the 10th batter, the 4-3 put out. Botos has missed wide with each of his first 2 pitches to Vernon. Bottom of the order, and your Brennan Vernon, 1 pitch, 1 spot to drive. He takes it, wasn't there. 4-run deficit. Patience is the name of the game. Hard to do against a guy like Botos who works so quickly. Feel like you got to get up, stay in the box, and get going. Count was back even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fastball taken just off the plate. Looks like it caught a little bit of the chalk. Again, that 50-50 call Nick and I have talked about does not go the way of Botos, who's already set, ready to go. Same pitch, same spot, different result. Vernon gets rung up looking, and Nick, that's the inconsistency sometimes you see in the high school game.
Yeah, disappointing for Brennan Vernon, right? But ultimately enough, now Lincoln Southwest quickly down to just 4 outs. Got to get something going. But for Millard South, how about Bryson Botos? Has really settled in, and that's what a 4-run lead can do for you. But now you're talking about, okay, can Botos get us through this ball game to where we don't have to use another pitcher going into our next round game?
That's absolutely the thought for Millard South as a breaking ball misses in the left-handed batter's box, 1-1. There is action in the Millard South bullpen, as I noted. Botos misses about foot out of the zone, 2-1. He works so incredibly fast. That one chopped over to Jindra at third. He'll shuffle step. Throw is high. It takes the first baseman, Noah Carroll, off the base. So the top of the order, Hudson Schaefer. He reaches on a throwing error by the third baseman, Brody Jindra. Not costly yet, Nick, but we've seen an innocuous little play like that lead to big innings multiple times here today.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, especially with this part of the order due up. Certainly a spot where you don't want to give too many free passes.
So here's Trent Buda, has not reached base today. He is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. He takes a fastball, letter high for a ball. Botos out of the stretch, kicks and fires. Fastball slightly up, slightly in, 2-0 in favor of the left-handed hitting Trent Buda. Schaefer not likely running. His outs are valuable. Buddha flies this one to right field. Out is the second baseman, Logan Wick. He shields his eyes from the sun, makes the catch just inside the foul line to retire the Silverhawks. 3 outs to go for Lincoln Southwest. Millard South up by 4, looking for insurance. We'll bring in the bottom half of the 6th inning momentarily on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Davis.
Here we are, bottom of the 6th inning. Big thanks to everyone running the board today. We had Rico for the second game of the day, Ben for second game, I suppose. I can do math. And then Harrison on the board right now for us back in the 93.7 Ticket Studios.
Here's the deal, Austin. This is the 11th game in 4 days for us, right? We had what would have been 4 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, so 6 there. Then it was, 13th of the week.
That's right.
4 yesterday, and now going to be 4 today. So this is the 12th of 13 that we'll have by the end of the day today. A lot of moving parts. Obviously, the folks hear us the most, but a lot of moving parts between the in-between segments and everything else.
We could not do without everyone back in Lincoln, making sure we get on the air and making sure we don't have to fill all day by ourselves here from a press box. Really appreciate all of them back there. Really appreciate all of you listeners being with us here for State Baseball 93.7 The Ticket and our great sponsors. Nick would know better than I who they are. We'll make sure we get them shouted out at some point. It's a new pitcher on the mound for Lincoln Southwest. Caleb Bolte got the start at third base yesterday. He's on the mound here in the bottom of the 6th, facing 4, 5, and 6. Carson Durr swings, pops it up on the infield, sprinting in a few steps shy of the mound. Brennan Vernon retires Carson Durr. 1 pitch, 1 out for Caleb Bolte. That is efficiency.
Yeah, absolutely right. Now, Lincoln Southwest is, I don't want to say caught a break because they've approached him well and they've attacked him well. But with Harrison Hart and Carson Durr, as well as Gindra, a combined, what is it? 1 for 8,
1 for 9, right
11.
Now. Yeah.
1 for 11. That's certainly a spot where you feel like you might have an advantage just looking if you didn't see the scoreboard, but here you are, unfortunately down 9-5 if you're a Southwest supporter.
It's Gindra, Husker commit in the box. Righty-righty matchup. Looks like Gindra just called a late timeout as Bolte had lifted that left leg up, but no balk call, no pitch. It's 1-0 to Gindra. Bolte set at the belt. 3-quarter delivery. That one lifted down the right field line. It's twisting, just foul, about 1.5 foot foul. That would have been extra bases for Brody Gindra as Dayton Engelbart, still the right fielder, unable to get to that one on the fly.
Ginger really impressed me yesterday with his presence on the mound. He was able to command quite a few pitches and be able to, obviously, when it was all said and done, have 5 innings of no-hit baseball. It was going to be one of those situations, too, where if they kept him in, you wouldn't have seen any problem with him cruising to the finish line. But pitch count, certainly a factor in state tournament.
Gindra, a .288 hitter this year, 30 hits in 104 at-bats. Tied for the team lead in runs driven in with 24, tied with Harrison Hart. Fouls that pitch off. Now Gindra down in the count 1-2.
I'm wondering if Creighton Prep lets their fans know, hey, this is the uniform color we're wearing, because we just saw a big group of Prep supporters coming in the same baby blue color.
Gindra, hot shot up the middle. Schaefer bobbles. His throw pulls Vokun off the base. Nick, I thought he had it for a second, but Vokun pulled his foot just off the far side of the bag. Schaefer would have had Gindra by a couple steps, but it's that bobble. We've seen 4 or 5 errors on the infield here just in the last few games since I've been here.
Right.
And it's weird because you'd think you get truer hops off of turf that would be more natural, but maybe guys are still expecting some of those weird bounces. We've seen a lot of those hit kind of off the palm of the glove.
I also am curious, and this just goes back to not playing on turf back when I played as often, right? Because now turf fields are very popular. They moved Den Hartog and Lincoln to a turf field. As the pitch comes, it's a strike on the outer half. But what I was going to say is I'm wondering how the footwork feels on turf, right? You can shuffle your feet on dirt really easily. I don't think there's much of a difference, but maybe in that situation, especially the high traffic areas, maybe it's a little more matted down. It's a little tougher to shuffle your feet.
Bolte picks over to first. Good pickoff throw. Jindra just back in time. He's bouncing a little bit over there, Nick, from right foot to left foot. Patriots lead at 9-5. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Noah Carroll at bat. He is 1 for 2, an RBI and a run. Jindra trying to rip off second base. Perfect throw from Landon Sandy. Brody Jindra out by a good step and a half. That was textbook mechanics from Sandy behind the plate, Nick.
Yeah, that was really good, right? And that time we saw the difference. Previously in this game where a throw was a short hop, it actually injured Brendan Vernon on the bounce. His momentum wasn't going towards second base. That time he had much more time. It was a better pitch also. This time from Caleb Bolte than it was previously in the day, and Sandy able to make an accurate throw on a line.
That one chopped to third. Seymour handles it, fires across the diamond, and plenty of time to get Noah Carroll. So 5-3 for the final out of the 6th inning. Would that be Millard South's final time at bat? We'll have to see. 3 outs remaining for Lincoln Southwest. They're down 4 runs. We've seen it happen once today in Class B. Can it happen for the Lincoln team in Class A? Nick Sainer will tell you about it in 60 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial or residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com. The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
It is time for the top of the 7th inning, 9-5 your score. Millard South out in front by 4 runs in the first pitch of the top of the 7th, as it is 3-4-5 for Lincoln Southwest in the visiting half of the final inning. Leighton Sandy takes strike 1, swings and misses strike 2, and quickly in a hole, 0-2. Sandy, the junior, 386 average, hitting from the left side. The pitch, breaking ball. Oh, barely missed that one. Botos, not a fan of the ball call. And it's quickly 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch from Botos. Breaking ball hammered right side. Second baseman playing in shallow right field. Shifted perfectly and retires Sandy for out number 1. So 4-3 on the putout. And that brings up Caden Ransom, the designated hitter. Ransom on the day, he singled back in the 3rd inning, that part of the 4-run 3rd inning for Lincoln Southwest, and then flew out in the 2nd, also hit into a 6-4-3 double play in the 4th inning. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat, right down Broadway, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. 9-5 your score. Millard South out in front. And that 0-1 pitch is on the corner. Strike 2. Ransom not a fan as he stared back at the home plate umpire and felt like he saw something different. The 0-2 pitch upstairs. Ball one. If I'm Botos, I go right back to that outside corner. You've thrown 3 straight fastballs. Throw him a 4th. Try to paint that edge as it's a breaking ball. Moves outside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, fastball hammered to short, fielded off the short hop by the shortstop and thrown over to first in time. A nice grab by Jackson Apin over there at shortstop off the short hop, right at his left foot, fired it over to first in plenty of time. Caden Ransom barreled up a couple of balls really nicely today, but it goes for naught as it's 6-3 on the putout, and now Lincoln Southwest down to their final out. The first pitch to Dayton Engelbart. Engelbart, a senior outfielder, as he gets drilled in the center of the back. Engelbart, we know Botos has been throwing about 85 miles per hour, and he just plunked him. So Engelbart will take first base, and the Silverhawks have a 2-out base runner for Ty Phillips, who re-enters into the game. So Ty Phillips subbed out, and then Brandon Clark came in, struck out swinging for the second out in the 5th inning, and now Ty Phillips checks back in to bat one more time. Ty Phillips, a sophomore, listed as a first baseman on the roster, but got the start in left field today.
We call that the Nick Prado special if you're a Royals fan.
There it is, Nick Prado. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Southwest still needs 4 runs. The pitch from Botos. Strike one on the outer half, 0-1. So once again, the game to come tonight is going to be Creighton Prep and Elkhorn South. That should be a really good one. Plenty of Division I talent spread up across that field, similar to every single game we have here on the ticket. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch hammered right side in between the first base coach and the first baseman down the right field line. It'll be a foul ball. We'll do it again at 0-2.
I'm going to go back to that pick by Apin really quick at shortstop there, Nick, on the line drive off the bat of Caden Ransom. That was a rocket one-hopper. Mm-hmm. A lot of younger shortstops, a lot of inexperienced shortstops would jump out of the way of that one, would pull their head. Apin did a good job of keeping his glove low to the ground, of not matadoring it, trying to pick it. His soft hands kept it low.
The 0-2 offering just outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ty Phillips. If Millard South holds on, they will play Lincoln East at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Botos delivers, swung on and missed. And they'll have to complete the play at first, and Millard South advances as they will face off against the Lincoln East Spartans tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. at Warner Park in Omaha. The Millard South Patriots survive the scare. After going up 3-0, they surrendered a 5-3 lead at that point. They were down by 2. They added 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th. They added 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th, and they come away victorious 9-5 over Lincoln Southwest. So once again, 9-5 your final score. Lincoln Southwest completes their season here at Tal Anderson Field. Millard South will have to defeat Lincoln East not once, but twice if they want to make Friday's state title game. That's what being 2-0 in the driver's seat really means, is that at some point somebody's going to have to beat you 2 times. And now Millard South knows that they will have to knock off the number 1 team, the 1-loss Lincoln East Spartans, twice if they want to reach Friday's state championship game. The next one, we need to find out who's going to have to beat Millard West twice, and that is between Elkhorn South, who is the 7th seed, and the Creighton Prep Junior Jays, the 6th seed. Something to keep in mind is that Bellevue West, the 3 seed, knocked out Elkhorn South. Really talented. Creighton Prep, extremely talented. We're going to see both of those teams in action as they face off in our final elimination game of the day from Tal Anderson Field in Omaha. Thanks again for listening. For Austin Norman, appreciate Harrison Arns back in our 93.7 The Ticket Studios. For Ben, back in our 93.7 The Ticket Studios. And for Nia Davis, back in our 93.7 The Ticket Studios. This is Nick Sainert saying so long. We'll talk to you in under an hour from Tal Anderson Field for Elkhorn South and Creighton Prep. as Millard South advances 9-5 over the Silverhawks. This has been Class A State Baseball on 93.7 The Ticket.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system